they clucked like chickens in a coop, European leaders are in a panic, waiting for Trump to reach them. The White House leader has returned to one of his favorite pastimes from his first term and one of his most decisive campaign promises, to start a trade war of everyone against everyone. He reported that the EU would also get its share, saying they've become too arrogant, living off the US and not caring, and showing no respect for the new administration. It's basically payback for all those who once opposed him, and he's repeated this several times. Unlike Biden, he doesn't suffer from memory lapses.
We have a deficit of more than $300 billion. They don't take our cars, don't take our farm products, they take almost nothing. We take everything from them. Of course, the UK is also out of line, but the EU has crossed all boundaries. With London, I think we can negotiate, but the EU, what they've done is just outrageous.
And here the British sighed with relief, and for the first time in a long time, were glad they left the EU. But it's better to be cautious. As their media writes, citing unnamed but important sources, London intends to increase imports of US gas and weapons. But to keep Brussels from understanding and rushing to compete, they are feeding them false assurances, saying, "We won't abandon you, friendship forever."
We pragmatically approach the challenges we inherited from the previous government, which failed the Brexit deal. Unlike the Conservative Party, whose policy was not to engage with the EU at all, we will prioritize proposals that promote the growth and prosperity of the UK.
Viktor Orban turned out to be no less pragmatic. The news of tariffs even amused the Hungarian Prime Minister. Budapest has been hit for its independent policy many times, but now it's their turn to hit back. The politician stated he intends to make a direct beneficial deal with his friend Trump, and let the Eurocrats deal with the mess they've created.
I don't foresee a great future for Western Europe. If major countries don't restore their independence, if they don't stand on their own feet, and if Brussels, its bureaucratic elite, continues to dictate what Europe should do, then we can't predict anything good.
Other European leaders are not so optimistic. They can't boast of friendship or a strong economy, so they try to solve the issue together. Well, more like they bravely claim they're not afraid of the big bad wolf. But only until he snaps his teeth.
We recognize potential problems in relations with the United States, and we are ready for this. The EU will respond harshly to unfair or arbitrary actions.
But how exactly Ms. Ursula plans to respond is not specified, and what can a half-ruined European economy oppose? Manufacturers are massively cutting staff, moving their operations to other countries, including the US. Energy resources are becoming more expensive, and the green agenda is not working at all. Another militant representative, Macron, calls for standing as one big wall against Trump, but first to strengthen defense. Judging by his militant statements, he probably wants to outmaneuver Rutte in the future.
Without Europeans, it's impossible to ensure Europe's security. We must go further in developing our defense industry, technological base, assuming increased investments, and then on economic and commercial issues to achieve Europe's strategic awakening.
Well, that's Europe for you, barking loudly from behind the bushes about unity, wagging its tail, and waiting for favor from the true master. Recently, Scholz, who looked at Biden with devotion, now quietly growls and whimpers.
Obviously, being a strong economic region, we can make our own decisions and respond to tariff policies with countermeasures. We must and will do this.
However, not everyone is so confident. Scholz can say whatever he wants now. The chances of him being re-elected as chancellor are close to zero. But after what he did to his country's economy, he'd better stay silent. And those closer to reality warn. It's better not to joke with Trump.
I worked with Donald Trump for many years when I was prime minister. If you're weak, he eats you. If you don't negotiate, he destroys you. These are the facts you need. He's losing interest in Europe.
And indeed, Trump loses interest in anything that doesn't bring profit and easily gives up. He's a businessman who loves deals. Risky ones, not always winning, but that's his nature. The head of the White House stated his conditions. More American oil and gas on the European market. More products made in the USA in all areas of European activity. More cars, weapons, everything that keeps the old world afloat. And he's ready to raise the stakes even higher, but like any entrepreneur, he dislikes those who can't negotiate. That's the essence of the game.